Crypto.XL. I'm back. Hey guys, what's going on? So, October 16th, um, Trump was going to give a speech about, well, he gave a speech about IDF and fertilization and, maintaining the family and fertility, this kind of stuff. So, it was an announcement that it's an announcement that he was going to make a speech later, right? And the market panicked and preemptively dumped leading into the announcement. The announcement was approximately 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It was a little bit, it started a little bit later than that. But the prior time he was going to host an announcement, the market dumped substantially. So the market preemptively dumped this time, and we've broken the support at of 110,000, and we're currently at around 108,000. So there's speculation that we're going to end up coming all the way down to 100K Bitcoin. And what is my stance on this? My stance on this is I don't know. Maybe we do come down to 100K Bitcoin. What does that mean? Well, that would mean that the altcoins suffer, right? The altcoins continue to go down, and this famed altcoin season that we're all waiting for um, is again delayed. All right, so everything I've just told you, I would look at that as short term. This information is short term, and it's pretty much noise. If you have a macro stance on the market, if you're able to zoom out and look at it from the overall perspective from an omnipotent tier, you can see that we're in an uptrend and we're still in the bull market as far as Bitcoin is concerned. Even the total three, the altcoins are also in a bull market. They're just being outperformed by Bitcoin because Bitcoin dominance, and especially after this last dump, has been rising. Now, what does this mean for the 4 year cycle and altcoin season as we know it? Well, what it means is that we are in uncharted territory. What is happening now, the way things have happened, and the way the cycle has evolved is different than how than the two previous cycles. The two previous cycles, we've had altcoin season post half a year, Q1 of the post half a year. This time around, it has not happened. So does this mean that does it mean that we won't have an altcoin season? And B, does it also mean that we're now at the end of the bull market because we're in Q4 of the post half a year? From my understanding of it, I would say to answer A, yes, we're still going to have an alt season. To answer B, maybe I should have did one and two, but to go to point B, no, I don't think we're at the end of the bull market. Reason why I don't believe we're at the end of the bull market is because all of the triggers, all of the signs that would show you that it's the end of a bull market, out of the 30 different criteria that we have to check on this, none of them have hit. Except for one, I would say seasonality, right? Because we're in Q4 of the post halving year. So you can say seasonality. But aside from seasonality, there's too much momentum. There's too many variables that are pointing to a continuation of a Bitcoin bull run. And to name some of those considerations, let's go through some of them. The M2 monetary policy, M2 money supply is still spiking up, it's still on the rise, and Bitcoin has a 2 month lag behind M2, so which means that the future of Bitcoin should be a positive one if Bitcoin continues to follow the M2 money supply. Jerome Powell, Federal Reserve Chairman, mentions the end of quantitative tightening. The Feds are talking about ending quantitative tightening, and I don't think we go into a bear market right when the Fed ends quantitative tightening. Actually, the opposite happens. We risk on assets start to take on a new life, at the end of quantitative tightening. This is what propelled the last bull market that we had, right? The ending of quantitative tightening. And this is, you don't even need to go into quantitative easing. Uh, you don't even need to go into quantitative easing, but as you end quantitative tightening, that's enough for risk on assets to start to perform, right? Now, if you're talking about performance of risk on assets, we could also talk about the performance of gold, which is a safety asset, which is currently over 4,200, which is doing astronomically well. Gold is skyrocketing. Gold is in a parabola. It's looking like a backwards letter L, or it's looking like the letter J, the chart of gold. It's going straight up, and gold's around $4,200 now an ounce. And as we know, with these 4-year cycles, or the bull market cycle, the monetary cycle, what when gold goes up, the money that's in gold at the top flows out of gold as the gold bugs look to double their profits or increase their profits. And it goes into riskier assets such as Bitcoin. And this has not happened yet. Recently, gold has increased its market cap of over $2.5 trillion. The total market cap of Bitcoin by itself is $2.5 trillion. So we're talking about a couple months increase in gold is a complete market cap of Bitcoin. And we are also saying that the money that normally flows from gold into Bitcoin, as it did in 2021, has not happened yet. So because of these 3 points, which I just mentioned, there are many others, meaning that the bull market, the bear market indicators, the 30 of them did not hit yet. That's another point. But these 3 other points that I just mentioned are the reasons why I do not see this as the end of the bull market. It's actually bullish for me to see so many people calling for a bear market right now, because it's going to be very hard for you to get the altcoin season that you feel that you deserve if everyone is sitting here waiting for it with their knife and fork out. It doesn't work that way. As we've seen in the past, these assets, these risk on assets, perform after everyone gives up on them. Ethereum went down to $1,300, $500, $1,350 before it went to 5,000. Okay, so what I would be doing at this point will be slowly acquiring my blue chip assets, the ones that are undervalued, the ones that are going to garner the most amount of attention should we have an altcoin season. I would start gathering them up at the point where people stop believing in them and stop believing, more importantly, stop believing that we're going to have an altcoin season, right? I'm talking about the leaders here, right? I'm talking about Ondo. I'm talking about Zora. I'm talking about Render. I'm talking about Say, Sui. I would start Aster. I would start accumulating the leaders. I mean, it's obvious which coins are leading the pack, right? It's obvious which coin are going to be the number one coin in each sector. At this point, since the market is so damaged and bruised up, since the altcoins are underperforming Bitcoin and have consistently been underperforming Bitcoin for months, I would go to the leaders of the altcoins that garner the most attention in each genre that they're in, and I would slowly stack those in my portfolio. And I will be calm and I will be patient and I will wait. One thing that we have learned over the past week is that we should not be playing with leverage. And if we do play with leverage, that only a small percentage of the portfolio should be in leverage. The last, or you're going to end up screaming like that, right? So the last Trump meeting or announcement, the last Trump announcement that we had, we've seen coins such as Cosmos go down to 0.001. We've seen leaders such as Sui go down to 50 cents on certain exchanges, which means that if you're in a leverage position, if you were in a leverage long position and you're only 2x leverage, which I think is very conservative, you still would have gotten liquidated. So if you would have bought one of these blue chips and you're like, you know what, I'm going to be responsible, I'm going to be safe, I think I could hang with 3x, 5x leverage here. I'd make more with that, but I don't want to lose my portfolio. This money I can't afford to lose. So I'm only going to go 2x leverage, right? And I've been stacking away for 2 years and I have 20K in my portfolio. And you're being responsible. So you put 20K into the exchange with 2x leverage with a big fat blue chip coin that um, should not go to zero. And we've seen that coins within the top 10 have fallen over 50% on that wick, on that scam wick last week because of the Trump announcement, because of the manipulation from the Trump announcement. And so your $20,000 portfolio that you've been smart and you've been, in the trenches has been wiped out all of a sudden. And this is why if I were to do leverage, I would only play with, maximum 10% of my portfolio. I'm not going over that. By the way, I have not said this video. Let me go ahead and say it. None of this is financial advice. This is for learning and entertainment purposes. I'm just a crypto investor just like you. But congratulations to you for lasting this long, for sticking it out, and for being in the market. Uh, any losses that we obtain in the market, we're going to look at this as tuition. It's the cost of an education. And as you know, nowadays, the cost of education is dire. It certainly is, right? But you're within an industry that has the potential to set you free for life. You just have to learn. Okay, you have to dust your knees off, get the sand off, you know, with a little bit of blood on your elbow, dust your kneecap off, and get back on and get ready to ride again because we are going to ride again, right? It's really just a matter of time before these coins skyrocket. It's already written in stone. Why? Well, because quantitative tightening is ending, and quantitative easing or money printing is going to start. It's going to increase, right? Now, I've said years ago, that eventually the government is going to start giving people money, and they're not going to have a choice just because of, this is just how life works. When you're in a fiat system, the way how the fiat system works is that the people within the fiat system have to take on debt. They need to take on debt in order for the system to run, right? So when I go and I buy a $50,000 car, if I don't have $50,000 cash to buy the car, they're going to have to print up money out of thin air. That's me taking on debt. And this is the car dealership doing business. And the car dealerships doing business, Apple doing business, Amazon doing business, they have shareholders to report to. All of this is getting reported in the financial markets. And they need to be doing well. They need to show a net profit. They need to show an increase over last year this quarter. The only way to do this is to extend credit to people, which is basically printing up more money, which is increasing debt, right? So the U.S. Economical system, currently we're $37 trillion in debt. I don't even want to say where because I don't know where that 37 trillion is. I don't have 37 trillion or my portion of it, right? So don't come to me for that because I did not accrue that debt. Actually, you guys owe me. We're paying Social Security for a very long time, and that's a whole nother topic to go into. But to make things clear, the only way is up. No matter what they do, any way they do it, they're going to have to increase the money supply. They're going to have to increase the debt. They're going to have to create relief for the people because if the people don't have relief, you'll have a riot. And it's better to have relief than a riot. So short term, asset prices go up, and when they do, All those little cryptos that we laugh at that just keep on going sideways or down or losing the Bitcoin, bleeding the Bitcoin, start to go up. Well, I'm going to leave this with you for now, and I'm going to come back to you another time. This has been Crypto.XL, and I'll see you at the top.
Welcome to Crypto.XL, your go-to spot for all things crypto. Here we dive into market trends, altcoin gems, and blockchain innovations, helping you stay ahead in the ever-evolving world of crypto. But remember, I'm not a financial advisor, and nothing here is financial advice. Always do your own research before investing. Want exclusive insights? Join the Patreon where I share buy and sell picks, market updates, and behind-the-scenes content. Hit that like, subscribe, and bell icon so you never miss an update. Let's ride the crypto wave together.